Well, the ultimate goal for the project and the premise was basically to present music that any mother would be proud of. If your mom caught you listening to this CD, she'd go, yeah. And all of the songs are songs that, as far as the style is concerned, that as a kid I heard my mom listen to. You know, the Marvin Gayes, the James Browns, the Aretha Franklins, that style, that era of music. And then here more modern, at least more recently, you know, would be the Doobie Brothers and Michael McDonald styles. So the songs selected for the project basically are all songs that my mom would love, and I wanted to give tribute to her. And she was a musician herself. Mom was a gospel recording artist, and her little boy Rod Kelly grew up in the projects over at Bowen Homes, where we'd have shootouts on top of my elementary school. And when apartments were abandoned, we'd go in and make them our own and take advantage of those apartments. And Mom every Sunday had me on the front row of the church, and it was a great learning experience. I learned a lot about the Word of God, and learned a lot about integrity, and seeing my mom follow through with plans, and seeing her progress and becoming just a fantastic vocalist. I mean, I even realized that as a kid when she'd sing at a place. I mean, the environment would just become electrified, and so I learned a great deal from my mom as it relates to music and rehearsals and you know, practicing, and spending time developing your craft. And so, you know, this project again just honors, you know, her work ethic, the things she taught me as she set me on the front row of the church. And Sunday after Sunday after Sunday, even though I had my, you know, devious ways, still I learned a great deal from, you know, those basic, fundamental, nurturing things she did for me. If nobody else is going to talk about you, you might as well talk about yourself, right? So Todd Bethel brought the tune over to me, and hummed it, you know. It went something like da 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 da, you know, and I'm like, it just got all inside of my being, and then that night I couldn't sleep for hearing that da da da, and so that song sort of stuck with me, and the title of it, Moments, made me realize, or at least recall, the moments I had a chance to spend with my mom, and moments with friends. One pivotal moment for me as a musician is when we had a band in college, and we went to this band competition, and I invited my great friend Sonny Emery over, and he came in and he took the contest from us. It was a $100 prize, and we talk about that today. And you know, and he's the kind of guy, he's a go-getter, and just a moment of being with Sonny and other fantastic musicians during that time, you know, inspires you, and moments with your folk, moments with great friends, moments with fantastic musicians. You know, every moment is important. I mean, you can't take for granted any moment. This moment right here is the most important moment in my entire life, right now. So that song, I saw it as the bass line for the project. It really set the standard on this project. And man, I'm probably gonna leave some folk out. I've got Jay Fly, Jarrell Flynn, Peter Graham, Juwan Hayes. I mean, drummers are very important to me. You know, that drum sound, I guess because I'm from the motherland, you know, it just, you know, if the drums aren't right, it ain't right. So the Jay Fly, the Todd Bethels, the Juwan Hayes, all of these guys, Anthony Baker again on drums, and then Peter Graham, like I mentioned, on guitar. Let's see, Alex Walk on sax. Bass player is Isaac West, young, a very funny and a character-driven guy. Let's see who else is on there.
Doc, right? The Doc Samba?
Doc Samba on bass, yeah. Robert Gaines on harmonica. You know, that was a unique situation. He came in and put his heart and soul on that harp, and man, I'm probably gonna miss a whole bunch of people, but everybody that was involved in the project, they just gave their all to it and just put heart and soul into every freaking. Yeah, for the most part, it's about the vibe of those tunes. It's about personality of those tunes. Those are the kind of tunes my mom had an affinity towards. Also, they became favorites of mine. You know, Quincy Jones, I mean, I grew up with his music as a toddler, you know, and then that harmonica sound of Sesame Street. Na, 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 na. You know, Toots Thielemans and his work with Quincy Jones over the years, Vilas from Quincy Jones's project. Just those sounds, they've stuck with me. Michael McDonald, he's been a long-time favorite of mine, and the Taking It to the Streets, that song speaks volumes to me, especially during these times when you have all of the uprising in the in the African continent, and you know, Tunisia and Ethiopia and all of the places that we're having uprisings, and people are defining themselves and determining that, you know, their destiny is not what it used to be, or what some other person determined it would be. So that song, you know, it had a meaning when Michael McDonald did it, and now it has a meaning when I did it. And I'm grateful that they released that song to me and allowed me to do it. So each song has meaning. It's not just selecting a popular song because it was popular. It's significant in this project, you know, for me as my mom's son. Well, yeah, I am interested in that, and I'm taking it a step at a time. The music industry is a ferocious industry, and it's the kind that eats its young. It doesn't care that, you know, you've got slime and gook all over you having just being born. You know, it comes and just chomps you up, you know. So I'm moving very slowly and carefully as it relates to that, and involving myself with like-minded people who just want to put out great music. I got a call this morning from my good buddy Eric Action Jackson, and it was my wake-up call, and he goes, "Man, turn on the radio, you know, WCLK is playing your music right now." In fact, they were playing Taking It to the Street with Michael McDonald too. And I've been working with Eric and again with you, and we're doing some stuff that's just going to be phenomenal. Eric said to me this morning, he said, "Man, I like that song." And he goes, "That's you stepping outside of your normal self, the normal things you do. You're doing things that are different from what you used to do." And I plan to do that continuously. The project we're working on is going to be unique as far as at least what I'm able to put out and what I'm able to do and have done. Alex Walk, we're finishing up Alex's project. It's crazy, the talent that this guy has. He's played with people all over the world, but himself, he's a unique talent, and wisdom is a unique word. And when I looked in the mirror this morning, I've got a few more signs of wisdom growing all over me, you know, the gray hairs. But I'll tell you, like my little niece has always told me, she says, "Uncle Rod, don't rush your life." You know, and by that, recognize every moment is important. You know, yeah, you've got goals, set those goals, and then, you know, develop your plans, and then turn those plans over to your maker, and let your maker establish your every thought, your every action, your every step. Sometimes you think one way is the right way to do it, but then all of a sudden another way opens up, and then you go through that way because it's not the course that you set necessarily for yourself. You've got the plan, you've got the dream, but sometimes your plan isn't always the best way. Then people come into your life and go, "Try this, why don't you give this a shot?" And so I'm open to that. You know, I'm open to the new direction. I'm open to you know, listening to the young, the old. And so I would recommend the same thing to anybody. Don't discount somebody just because they're younger than you. Their skin color is different from yours, or their experiences are not similar to yours. I mean, there's wisdom all in the streets, you know. So, you know, and it's saying, "Hey, here I am, come check me out." And so what I've got, the little bit that I've got, I'm taking it to the streets. And I'm putting my finger on that pulse and trying to figure out what's next.
Anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to share?
Every moment, baby. Just enjoy and absorb every moment.
So let me say this one thing, because you're such an eccentric person.
Yeah.
This is your Facebook fan right here. What you got to say to Facebook folks?
I like.